Here's a letter from Nick, who now describes himself as Bedford's answer to Jason Donovan, one of our regular correspondents, who sends us gig reviews. You'll recall that he has more than once reviewed the Cranes, for example. But anyway, he says, I've seen an absolutely elephant-munchingly large amount of bands this week. Well, what that can possibly mean. But here is actually, it's one of those things that you always read. The elephant has the smallest throat of any living creature. You know, one of those things. Did you know? Those children's encyclopedias and stuff like that. The whale has the smallest heart of any creature apart from the soldier ant. Anyway, the Playthings at the ICA Rock Week, Day 3, Wednesday the 27th of June, says Nick. The Playthings were first support tonight for the Pop Guns and headliners, the Cranes, of which we shall not speak. I was supposed to go to that, actually, to see the Cranes, and it's one of those things, John Peel +1, and I couldn't find anybody to be a +1, and it's really, you just feel a Burke walking into things on your own, you know, about two-thirds of the way through. And it's like going to a party and turning up absolutely sober when everybody else is drunk out of their minds. Not that I recommend that, especially to those of you who are underage. Oh dear me, no. They combined perfectly elements from both of these bands, blending the Pop Guns' sweet and innocent girly pop with the dark, discordant noise of the Cranes. I thought you'd work them in somehow. Songs like All Things Nice deceive the ear by starting off pleasantly seductive, then suddenly becoming positively destructive, rather like me, actually. I feel that I'm pretty much that sort of a kind of a chap. The seemingly sweet... I'll stop interrupting, I'm sorry. The seemingly sweet girl singer turns suddenly sour when she starts singing songs about slow death by pesticide, a very promising set from a very promising band. You see the people living in London now got radioactive water. Another thing was in the news. You can tell I've read the papers today. Radioactivity in their water. That's right.
Things.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, yes. I'm just going to have to clear my throat. Do you want to speak for a minute? Dear. Excuse me, this is what I'm going to speak. Anyway, to press on. Nick says, Pregnant Neck, Fflaps and the Keatons at the Old Queen's Head in Brixton on Friday the 29th of June. Pregnant Neck began the evening with plenty of fun-packed, noise-ridden and raved songs, all about not having time for breakfast and other such crises. This band are worth seeing, if only for the way singer Paul leaves a gap between the first and second syllables of the word particular. Well, there is a most particular way of assessing a band, too, but... Fflaps continued the momentum with some harsh Welsh guitar sounds, which I look forward to hearing on their up-and-coming Peel session, which they proudly announced tonight. They've also actually sent me a copy of their new LP, which I have to admit is faintly disappointing. It's rather uninvolving, but I shall listen to it again anyway in the hope that I was wrong about it, my first assessment. And speaking of Peel sessions, if the next band don't get one in the near future, I will probably experience spontaneous human combustion. If you plan to do it, Nick, do come and do it somewhere where I can see you do it, because it's one of those things which I suspect probably does happen to people. But like flying saucers, of course, is usually dismissed, probably quite rightly, as being explainable in some other way, or explicable in some other way. But so I should like to see it done. So if you do plan to do it, get in touch with me first. I'm, of course, referring to Welwyn Garden City answer to Banana Bran. The Keatons. This gig was to celebrate the release of their new mini-LP, which is the best slice of vinyl I've had the pleasure of being addicted to this year. And live they can be equally mind-bending, particularly when accompanied by manic performance artist Mo. Tonight he began the set wearing 50-inch long cardboard fingers and proceeded through a variety of similarly surreal costumes of his own construction. I was wearing something other than or in addition to the 50-inch long cardboard fingers. The highlight of the show was when he whipped out his toothbrush and toothpaste, brushed his own and then the band's teeth, and then leapt into the audience to start work on mine. Some were repulsed, but I revelled in it. The idea of actually sharing a toothbrush with all of the Keatons. Although I'm sure they're nice boys and love their mums, but it doesn't appeal to me. The Keatons are a live experience no one could forget, least of all me, says Nick. I've got plenty more, which I'll save for next week, as I noticed you were too much into the football last week to read my review out, and as this is the day of the final, I doubt that you'll even open this one. Wrong again! But only because the final ended halfway through the programme. If it had gone on into injury time and then the penalty shootout that so attracts the Americans, this is me saving the stamp. I save all the stamps because my children collect them for some children's charity. There you are. And the number of man-hours that I've devoted over the years to tearing stamps off envelopes and postcards and things, probably, well, it's a considerable amount. There you are. Where are we now? Completely lost.